We're looking at live visuals from the Vidya Pratishthan ground where before the final rites are to be performed, leaders queuing up to pay their last respects, their final tribute to Ajit Dada Pawar of Baramati, the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, the Chief of the NCP, the beloved Dada of Baramati, will be laid to rest before the final rites are performed. These are live visuals coming in from the Vidya Pratishthan ground. The family members, the Karyakartas. We also saw Home Minister Amit Shah along with the Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra offer their tributes. These, of course, are visuals of the Home Minister Amit Shah, who reached Baramati a while earlier, paying his tributes and last respects to Ajit Pawar, the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. From learning the basics of politics to becoming the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, it was a 40-year political journey of Ajit Pawar, who emerged as Maharashtra's most enduring Deputy Chief Minister. Final respects being paid to Ajit Pawar, who passed away in an air crash near his home in Baramati. It brought an abrupt end to his life, an abrupt end to his political career spanning 4 decades. We're joined by Mr. R. Rajagopalan, senior journalist. We also have Varun Singh, political analyst, Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist. Let me go across to Varun Singh. Varun, we're looking at these visuals of final tributes being paid. We saw Amit Shah, the Home Minister, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra fadnavis, now Deputy Chief Minister Ekanth Shinde, all of whom are going to feel the absence of Ajit Pawar, the vacuum that he leaves behind. It's a difficult phase, not just for the family, for the Karyakartas, for NCP and for the government of Maharashtra as well. I'm not talking about numbers here.
The numbers aren't to be discussed even today. What exactly Maharashtra is going to miss is a leader who was an able administrator. What Maharashtra is going to miss was visible on the faces of Devendra fadnavis yesterday when he looked completely devastated. What Maharashtra is going to miss, a leader who could handle the bureaucrats, which is the most difficult thing. And what Maharashtra is going to miss from now on is someone who could do a politics that I don't think anybody in the country could do apart from Ram Vilas Paswan. That he, Ajit Pawar, could be with people who were ideologically apart from his party, yet maintain his ideology. He sided with Uddhav Thackeray, he remained with Congress, and he was with BJP. And even during the 2024 assembly election, when he was fighting the elections, contesting the elections together with the BJP, and when Yogi Adityanath made that batting to cutting the statement, he was the first one from the Mahayuti to come out and say, no, we do not adhere to this ideology, we do not adhere to this statement. Yet he remained with the Mahayuti, contested the election, and won 41 seats. So the politics that he taught to a lot of people, that is what we are going to miss. It is what the entire country will be missing. How he could handle different ideologies and yet remain in power. How he could handle regional satraps who were very powerful in their areas, but he remained the ultimate Dada. Dada here means the big brother, and he remained the ultimate Dada of all of them and continued to stay in power.
And despite being part of the BJP Sena government, there was never a departure from the secular politics that he believed in, a progressive leader for sure. Last rites being performed at the moment. Let me go across to Mr. Rajagopalan as well. He learned the basics of politics from Sharad Pawar and then, went on to become the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. A 40-year political journey. And unfortunately, there was an abrupt end to that journey, an abrupt end to his life. Mr. Rajagopalan.
It was a sad, incident yesterday. In Maharashtra politics, it will definitely
Rites of Ajit Pawar, the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, being performed with full state honours. His sons Parth Pawar and Jay Pawar lighting the pyre. Mr. Rajagopalan, these are the final moments, the final rites that are being performed. You were saying something earlier, please go ahead.
Yeah, these are all the emotional scenes, Swati. My only one point is, who will be the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra from NCP? Is it Sunetra Ajit Pawar? I get some information from the sources. Yes, the answer is yes. Let us wait and watch. And in that case, Madam Sunetra Pawar may have to resign from the Rajya Sabha and get elected as MLA in another 6 months' time. That will create the atmosphere of Nari Shakti given more importance in NCP.
Absolutely.
Because Supriya Sule may get inducted in the Union Cabinet if Mr. Sharad Pawar
those are conversations. Those are conversations and decisions that are unavoidable, that will have to be taken. But at the moment, we're looking at the final rites being performed, the Mukhagni or lighting of the pyre by both sons, Parth Pawar and Jay Pawar. And Shekhar Iyer, it's devastating for any family, for any son, for any child to witness this moment.
Indeed, Swati, for all those gathered there, I can just imagine the thoughts running through their heart and their minds that there was never a leader like Ajit Pawar, never there will be another leader like Ajit Pawar. Like his uncle Sharad Pawar, no matter what stand Sharad Pawar took or Ajit Pawar took, they had a full support of the community from which they belonged, and there was no judgment as to whether they had taken something was right, was politically correct or anything, because whatever they decided, Sharad Pawar as well as Ajit Pawar, that was fully backed by their supporters. This is a very unique connect. There are very few leaders who command such a, I would call, an iconic effect from the community that they belong to. And that is what Ajit Pawar was for the Maratha community of Western Maharashtra in particular. He was an icon, he was a Dada. In the sense, they always felt that whatever decisions Ajit Pawar took was for the welfare of their community, for their businesses, for their trade, and for the future of their children and their families. This is a kind of linkage, a connect that Ajit Pawar always had, just as Sharad Pawar has always had. So therefore, today, the other thing that is going on in their minds is Ajit Pawar, may have been the nephew of Sharad Pawar, and probably that is how he became his disciple. But his rise over the years was not just because he was Ajit Pawar, Sharad Pawar's nephew. Rather, he cut his own teeth right from the cooperative politics and then on to being a minister. Today in Pune, I can tell you, Swati, there are areas that have seen development. Just a few months ago, when Pune was lashed by rains, a particular area, called Injanwadi, where there was so much of waterlogging, it is called the IT kind of a sector, where a lot of IT companies are located. Ajit Pawar was so upset about the way the civic bodies were handling that issue.
Right.
He decided to visit that place early in the morning and virtually pulled up every official who is responsible for sanitation, water supply, drainage, and saying,
some of those conversations, and I want to bring in Varun Singh as well, some of those conversations indeed were caught on camera. His interactions with officials, whenever he felt that a job was not being done, he never hesitated also from pulling up the officials, and some of those conversations became pretty controversial as well.
Not controversial, Swati, because it is very difficult to hold responsible the bureaucrats. How to handle those people who are in power 24/7, 365 days, unlike the politicians. They do not have to be accountable to the public directly. They do not have to go for elections and then come.
Varun, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but state honours being accorded, I believe, gun salute there for the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Ajit Pawar. Let's quickly focus on the visuals for a bit. I'll come back to you.
अखेरची मानवंदना शांततेत आपण उभं राहावं सगळ्यांना नम्र विनंती अखेरची मानवंदना आपल्या लाडक्या नेत्याला
To our guests, not just the Pawar family members, but all these grieving Karyakartas, part of Ajit Pawar's big political family, present there to pay their last tributes. Varun, please go ahead.
Yes, I was saying that the decisions or the public outrage that we used to have wouldn't be called controversial. I would call them iconic, because as I was saying, that handling bureaucrats, these people who are in power without much accountability to the public, are the ones who really run the government, who are the one who take the decision. And to have them held accountable, he made those kind of statements that actually went very, that is what public liked about him. He is one leader who knew how to handle bureaucrats. He is one leader who knew how to handle those IAS, IPS officers who do not listen. You have to understand that every file that passes, that comes out from the Mantralaya, has to be signed by an IAS officer. And it is the IAS officer, if he sits on the file, then whatever the Mantri decides doesn't happen. So to know how to get work done from them, that was his expertise. And that is what Maharashtra will be missing after his demise today. And, it is very sad that Maharashtra has, I don't know kiski nazar lagi hai ya kya hai, but for the last few decades, we have seen that leaders in politics, we consider 60, 66 as an age ripe enough to be elevated to huge positions.
Right.
And we have seen many leaders like Ajit Pawar or Vilas Rao Deshmukh or Gopinath Munde, they all passing away at this age. And we hope that this curse on Maharashtra politics ends now, so that we do not have to see. And also one more thing that I want to say, hope the report comes out soon, so that the aviation sector is regulated and we do not see such accidents anymore.
Absolutely. The investigation continues. We're waiting for more details and reports to come out on what really transpired, what went wrong in those last few minutes when the craft was approaching towards the runway for landing. And then the latest video suggests how it flipped, the aircraft flipped and crashed far away from the runway. Mr. Rajgopalan, all the journalists who've ever had an interaction or had a chance to interview Ajit Pawar talk about his punctuality, talk about how he'd like to start his day early in the morning. He would ask journalists to be there at his residence or at his office at 5:30 or 6 in the morning for an interview. Even on the day when the tragic crash took place, he was on his way to Baramati for the Zilla Parishad election campaigning.
Swati, he is a very joyful person, very witty person. Whatever you say, his retort is very witty. That's a quality of a politician. Second thing, as a minister, he was handling one or two important things, but the presentation of budget was due to be next month, and February 5th, the panchayat elections in his constituency. That is why he was concentrating. In nutshell, I tell you, Swati, the Mantralaya will miss Mr. Ajit Pawar, because from pure to the chief secretary level, most of them are known to him in person. That is what I hear from many bureaucrats and also from journalists. His witty things also given him a lot of respects. He will call everyone, but his only handicap, he used to express himself that he is very poor in English. And मुझे हिंदी में बात करो, नहीं तो मराठी में बात करो, don't speak in English. That's it. He will openly say this.
Yes.
So therefore, his ground level connection and also his affections on the hardcore NCP workers are immense. That's what, one has to give credit to Mr. Ajit Pawar. Very sad day. One thing, Swati, it is being done at the Sanatani style in Maharashtra style. Pandits are there, very, very aged Mr. Sharad Pawar. What an amount of emotional feelings he be having. To see his own nephew, getting cremated. Very, very sad moment for Mr. Sharad Pawar and also thousands of, followers. We pray that God gives him a lot of strength to the, Sunitra Pawar.
Ultimately, they are family. Shekhar Iyer, there was a rift in the party. The impact was felt in the family as well. At some point, we also witnessed sharp exchanges from both sides. But they all went back to saying that we are part of one big family. And we did see that as well. Even if it was in form of a political decision being taken to contest together. But ultimately, the family always stayed united.
Well, when we say that blood is thicker than water, I think it very well applies to the Pawar clan, because even during the period when they have had very difficult moments and differences within the family, at least publicly and maybe at a certain personal level, they ensured that there was no fallout. Even after breaking away from his uncle and contesting the assembly election separately, or joining the Devendra Fadnavis government, first in 2019 and then later, in all through this, I think the dialogue was on. There was never a moment you heard that Ajit Pawar has not spoken to Sharad Pawar, or Ajit Pawar has not spoken to Shalini Tai, Sharad Pawar's wife.
Yes.
So all the time, the dialogue was on. And similarly with Sunitra Pawar also, the entire family were always in dialogue. And we have always seen how Supriya Shule herself has acknowledged her affection for Ajit Pawar, notwithstanding political differences. Ajit Pawar just had one grouse against his uncle, Sharad Pawar, which is, even for 15 years, Congress and NCP were in power together. And there were, years when NCP had more number of legislators in the state assembly than the Congress. But Sharad Pawar never allowed Ajit Pawar to become chief minister.
And he said it quite publicly, isn't it, Shekhar Iyer, when he said कि मेरा समय कब आएगा, मुझे मौका कब मिलेगा, कब तक आप इस पद पर या इस जिम्मेदारी को संभालते रहेंगे. He never shied away even from staking claim.
Yes, indeed. Of course, in 2004, he did publicly express that. That is the time when he realized that he would not be a yay. And of course, and Sharad Pawar understood the ambitions of Ajit Pawar, which was very natural. But at the same time, he realized in the larger interest of his family as well as, I think the final came when Ajit Pawar realized that Sharad Pawar had more affection for Supriya Shule than for him. Because he felt that he wanted to pass on that mantle to Supriya Shule rather than to him. That is the time when he broke away. See, that was the very unfortunate moment for the family, because Ajit Pawar felt that though Sharad Pawar was his uncle, that in his more than 4 decades of foray into politics, he had created a space for himself, a place for himself. So therefore he felt that because initially it was made out that Ajit Pawar would concentrate in the state politics,
right,
and Supriya Shule would be the ambassador of Maharashtra in Delhi.
And that's the reason, perhaps that's the reason, or the arrangement was such that Ajit Pawar at some point took over from Sharad Pawar, not in terms of responsibilities, but in terms of the connect that he was able to build with people on ground, especially Baramati. Stay on with us, gentlemen. A very short break. We're looking at these live visuals coming in of the last rites that have been performed, Mukhagni or lighting of the pyre, done by Parth Pawar and Jay Pawar, sons of Ajit Pawar, as they bid final farewell to their father, the NCP, to their beloved leader, and the leaders present at the Vidya Pratishthan ground, bidding a final teary-eyed farewell to Ajit Dada Pawar.